Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha, Krishna Chandra Radha, Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Shnupad Paramamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Samstapakacharya Savior of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, The Dynasty of Amshuman. Text number 46. Ye Vikshipta Indriya Dhiyaha Ye Vikshiptendriya Dhiyo Ye Vikshiptendriya Dhiyo Devaste Swahridi Sthitam Devaste Swahridi Sthitam Devaste Swahridi Sthitam Navindanti Priyam Shashwad Navindanti Priyam Shashwad Navindanti Priyam Shashwad Atmanam Kim Utapare Atmanam Kim Utapare Atmanam Kim Utapare Ye Vikshiptendriya Dhiyo Devaste Swahridi Sthitam Navindanti Priyam Shashwat Atmanam Kimutapare. Ye Vikshiptendriya Dhiyo Devaste Swahridi Sthitam Navindanti Priyam Shashwat. नमिच्छन्ति प्रियं शश्वत् आत्मानं किमुतापरे ये विक्षिप्तेन्द्रियधियो देवास्ते स्वहृदि स्थितं न विन्दन्ति प्रियं शश्वत् आत्मानं किमुतापरे ये which personalities vikshipta indriya dhiyaha whose senses, mind and intelligence are always agitated because of material conditions. Devaha, like the demigods, te, such persons, swahridi, in the core of the heart, sthitam, situated, na, not, vindanti, no, priyam, the dearmost personality of Godhead, shashwat, constantly, eternally, atmanam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, kim uta, what to speak of, apare, others, like human beings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Even though the demigods have the advantages of being situated in the higher planetary system, their minds, senses and intelligence are agitated by material conditions. Therefore, even such elevated persons fail to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is eternally situated in the core of the heart. What then is to be said of others, such as human beings, who have fewer advantages? Please repeat this translation after me. Even though the demigods have the advantages of being situated in the higher planetary system, their minds, senses and intelligence are agitated by material conditions. Therefore, even such elevated persons fail to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is eternally situated in the core of the heart. What then is to be said of others, such as human beings, who have fewer advantages? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is a fact that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshe Arjuna tishtati. But because of our material anxieties, which are inevitable in this material world, we cannot understand the Supreme Lord, although He is situated so near to us. For those always agitated by material conditions, the yogic process is recommended so that one may concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the heart. Dhyana vasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yoginaha. Because in material conditions the mind and senses are always agitated, by the yogic procedures like dharana, asana and dhyana, one must quiet the mind and concentrate it upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, the yogic process is a material attempt to realize the Lord, whereas bhakti, devotional service, is the spiritual process by which to realize Him. Maharaj Khatwanga accepted the spiritual path, and therefore he was no longer interested in anything material. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 55th verse, Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only by devotional service can I be understood. One can understand Krishna, the Parabrahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only through devotional service. The Lord never says that one can understand Him by performing mystic yoga or by philosophically speculating. Bhakti is above all such material attempts. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam. Bhakti is uncontaminated, being unalloyed even by jnana or pious activities. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanishalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauri Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare. So this is the thinking of Khatwanga Maharaj when he was offered any benediction he wanted by the Devatas after he fought very bravely, very chivalrously in the battle of the Devatas against the demons, Asuras. And the Devatas won the battle because of the expert fighting by Khatwanga Maharaj. He was unconquerable in any battle. So when they offered him, being pleased with his help, they offered him, whatever benediction you want, you kindly ask, we'll give you. So he began to think, what is it that they are offering me? What can I ask? So in the previous 3 verses, it has been explained that for Maharaj Khatwanga, nothing was as dear to him as the devotees of the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Lord himself. So for him, his kingdom, his land, his wife, his children, his opulence, even his own life was not at all very dear to him. So such a person will not be interested in asking any material benefit. And the Devatas cannot offer any spiritual benefit. They cannot give anything spiritual. They can only give some material benediction. So, his thinking was that now these Devatas are offering me some material benefit, but I am not interested. I am not in need. I have no use for them. Even in his childhood, he considered all these material things very, very insignificant. And he was never attracted to irreligious principles. So he was never performing any sinful activity. And even performing pious activities, he was always engaged in devotional service, because he had the greatest value for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was always interested in Krishna consciousness. So why will he ask any material benediction? The Devatas could not recognize that here is a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Devatas are very, very intelligent personalities. They are situated in the upper planets. They have got so much punya. There's so many mystic powers. Some of them, they have mystic powers. They can read others' mind. Some of them, they can read others' mind. But they could not understand the position of this Khatvanga Rishi, Maharaj Khatvanga. So the important lesson for us is that you cannot recognize a pure devotee or even the Supreme Lord by externals. You cannot even recognize by having mystic power. You cannot recognize even by having material knowledge. You cannot recognize, you cannot understand their position. It's only by devotional service that anybody can properly recognize a pure devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, in today's verse, it is being made clear that the Devatas, they have so many advantages being situated in the higher planetary systems as compared to those in the lower planetary systems or even on the earth. But they fail to utilize all those better facilities for any spiritual benefit. Why? Because their mind, their senses, their intelligence are always agitated by material conditions. This material world actually is very bewildering for everyone except pure devotees. Everyone else, it is very bewildering. That there are so many different kinds of allurements, even in the higher planets. So they are always agitated in the mind. Oh, I have this, I can do this. Some power, some position, some mystic power, or some special facility. All those things are simply meant to bewilder the mind. Vikshipta indriya dhiya. To make the mind completely calm, sober, completely directed inward towards the core of the heart, towards the consciousness. is not possible for somebody who's having some material desire. Even though the Devatas are all devotees of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu Bhaktas Smruto Daiva, they are all devotees, but they are called Sakama Bhakta. Sakama Bhakta means they have material desires. They are not free from material desires. So these material desires are such that there is no end to them. There's no end to them. Sometimes when a pious person comes to know about bhakti, that bhakti really is for those who have exhausted all their material desires. Bhakti is specially meant for such people. So then, when they hear about bhakti, that it is very, very powerful, it is the best method of spiritual advancement, self-realization, then they become interested in bhakti, but they cannot take up bhakti because they cannot exhaust their material desires. Even neophyte devotees sometimes face this problem. Just like we take up chanting Hare Krishna. The process of chanting Hare Krishna is a very simple process. It's not difficult. But then to completely absorb our attention, our consciousness fully in hearing and chanting the holy name, the sound incarnation of Krishna, that is the difficult part. Why? Because always some portion of our attention will be busy with some material desire or material thought or material idea. Until we exhaust all our material desires, until we come to the point, I have no more material desire, till then the consciousness will always be busy with something material. You cannot free your mind from all material things. It's not possible. So, how do we become completely free from material desires, material engagements, material attractions? That is possible only if we develop genuine attraction for Krishna. Krishna is supremely attractive, but that attraction for Krishna, either we miss out that attraction for Krishna by extending our material conception even towards Krishna. When we see a deity of Krishna, we generally see the material form of the deity. We begin to calculate, oh, this is a marble deity, beautiful marble deity. Now this sort of appreciation is the beginning. Yes, it is the beginning. It is good that somebody at least is appreciating the beauty of the deity of Krishna. But then we should also go beyond that appreciation of merely some beauty, because this deity of Krishna is not just a beautiful statue. Just like in London they have this wax museum, and they have this wax models of famous personalities. So it's so nicely made, sometimes people think, oh, actually the person's form is just there, the person is actually standing. It's so very real, the resemblance is so very close. So, in the material conception, there is no difference between the deity and a beautiful statue which looks identical to the deity. No difference. Just like I can give another example. Now, in the cloth stores, not cloth, the dress store, where they sell a nice dress, then they may have a mannequin. Mannequin is a statue of some person, of a male or a female. Then they dress it up very nicely. Now, sometimes somebody who is wanting to buy a new dress, they may look in the shop window, the mannequin, they know very well it is a mannequin. But when they get attracted by the beautiful dress, then they are carried away by their mind, that they put themselves in the place of the mannequin, and they think that they themselves will look very, very beautiful as the mannequin is appearing with that dress on. Oh, I look very beautiful. So this is a trap of Maya. This is exactly what the shopkeeper wants you to think. And the next thing, you go inside and you buy the dress. Whether you want it, don't want it, whether actually you look as beautiful as the mannequin or not, whether the color suits your complexion or not, whether the dress is suitable for you or not, you simply become completely bewildered. So, as long as we have any material desire, even looking at the deity form, we will always look at it in a material way. So ultimately we will always think, after all, this is a statue. This is not God. This is a representation of God, not even representation. It's like a imaginary form of God, or it's a material form of God. But actually, what is the truth? What is the reality? Deity is called incarnation of Krishna. Krishna has personally come in this form. Krishna has personally appeared in this form. And Krishna is present there. Krishna is fully present. So, unless we carefully attempt to give up all such material conceptions, and unless we properly hear from the scriptures, hear from the spiritual master, try to understand the way it is explained, in the bona fide scriptures by the bona fide acharyas. We will never see the deity as Sakshat Krishna. We'll never see the deity that way. Neither we will chant Hare Krishna with the understanding that Krishna is fully present in the sound vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, which I am able to produce using my tongue, even though I am not pure, even though my tongue is simply a material instrument for producing a sound. But by Krishna's mercy, he agrees to appear, to incarnate, to descend on my tongue when I say Hare Krishna. Krishna is present in the form of the sound. And Krishna is present as the transcendental personality. Krishna never assumes any material form. Krishna does not take the form of the material sound. He appears as transcendental sound. So that's inconceivable for us. That's not possible for us to understand in our present condition. So therefore, it requires faith that Krishna has actually appeared as the Archa Vigraha, the deity form. Krishna has appeared as the Hare Krishna mantra. Krishna has appeared as the Bhagavatam. Krishna has appeared in the form of Prabhupada. Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastrai Ruktastatha Bhavyataiva Sadbhi. Krishna has appeared in the form of the river Ganga. Why? Because the river Ganga contains the particles of the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. So the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. That's the absolute nature of Krishna. So Ganga is actually Sakshat Krishna in the form of the river. So all these spiritual facilities available for everyone, without any discrimination, without any need for any special qualification. The only requirement is that we should not have any material misconception and see it as something ordinary. Like if we go to the river Ganga, we may go to river Ganga on the which is flowing through a particular tract of land. We may go to Kashi or Prayag. So when we go to Prayag, before we go to the Ganga, we look everywhere around and try to see the place is dirty, place is not so clean, somebody is making it more filthy. So our focus or concentration on the Ganga is not there generally. And even after we reach the actual river bank, we have so many material distractions that we almost completely forget that Ganga is 100% spiritually potent. Just by taking a bath in the Ganga, one can become 100% free from all sinful reactions. And for what? Why should you become free from sinful reactions? So that you can take to Krishna consciousness. Not that you become free from sinful reactions and then you're free from all suffering and you can enjoy materially. No, that is not the purpose. Because if somebody thinks that I am suffering due to my past sinful activities and I can become purified by taking bath in the Ganga, it's a fact. Yes, you can become purified. But then when you come out of Ganga, next again you commit sinful activities. And again you become infected with sinful reactions. And again you have to suffer. So what is the use of your having taken bath in the Ganga? Whereas if somebody goes and understands by taking a bath in the Ganga, I can become completely free from sinful reactions, so that I may be able to take to devotional service and give up all these nonsense material engagements. Such a person is a very, very, very fortunate person. Such a person is really, really blessed by Krishna. Such a person is blessed. And simply by taking bath in Ganga, such a person becomes 100% perfect. Liberated, immediately liberated. Over, finished. No more material bondage. So, devotees like Khatwanga Maharaj, all pure devotees, and the Supreme Lord Himself, they come to this world to actually bless us with devotional service, with bhakti, so that we get out of this material existence immediately. See, when Krishna comes, it's not that He's coming with a million-year plan, that you begin some pious activities and gradually you'll make progress. That is not Krishna's program. Krishna comes, He wants to take you immediately with Him to His personal abode, because you belong to Him. Everyone belongs to Him. So He wants to take everyone. But then people have so many excuses. If Krishna says, come with me, say, wait. So many material things I have to finish. Then I'll come with you. And that's how we get stuck up in this material world. We get stuck up. And we have been stuck up like that for millions of lifetimes. It's not that we are getting the opportunity for the first time. No. Every time the Lord incarnates, every time a pure devotee incarnates in this world, in the past, Ramanujacharya, he has come. Madhvacharya, he has come. So many pure devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. Nityananda Prabhu has appeared. Advaita Acharya has appeared. All of them were coming with the same program. They want to take everyone back to Godhead. This is their program. Krishna's program. Krishna has come in millions of incarnations. Narasimha, Varaha, Rama, Vamana. Every incarnation of Krishna, they want to take everyone back to Godhead. But people are so very busy, so much entangled, that they always make excuses. always make excuses. And they don't go back. They remain here. So one of our acharyas, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, taking the position of a common man, he says that the Supreme Lord is very, very kind. He appears again and again and again and again and again so many times. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every yuga he appears. Again and again. So many times. But the common people in general are so unfortunate. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, taking the position of common man, he says that even though you are so kind, so merciful, you make so many arrangements for my deliverance, for taking me out of this material existence, but I remain here. I remain here. Even the demons who are killed by you, even they have got delivered. I am not a demon. I am a pious man. Or I am not as sinful as a demon. But I still remain here. I don't get out of this material existence. It's a fact. The worst of demons, they become blessed and fortunate, most fortunate, when they are killed by Krishna. They are fortunate. See, Krishna can empower anyone else to do this job of killing, business of killing. Krishna doesn't have to personally come to kill anybody, any of the demons. Like Mysore is famous, Durga Devi as Mahishasura Mardini, one big asura, Mahishasura. He was troubling people so much, all the saintly people, the innocent people, the pious people. So people became too much harassed, then they wanted some relief, immediate relief. So Krishna empowers Durga Devi, and she, with all the fury, she immediately finishes off this demon. He's killed, people get immediate relief. But that demon will not get any spiritual benefit because of being killed by Durga Devi. Durga Devi is very, very powerful. Very easily she can kill when she is empowered by Krishna. But she will not get any benefit. On the other hand, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu killed by Krishna. Ravana killed by Rama. Hiranyakashipu killed by Narasimhadev. They all get purified. They all get liberation. They get deliverance from this material world. So therefore, we have to actually understand this point, that we have to become free from material desires. We have to give up our material engagements. They are the very cause of our material existence and subsequent suffering, subsequent entanglement. So many ways people are entangled, especially in this Kali Yuga. People are very badly entangled. Very badly entangled. Just like, it's typical of Kali Yuga that poor people, because they have to work so hard to just make their ends meet, to even get 2 square meals, they work so hard, they say no time for doing any devotional service. Now rich people, they have enough and more, but they are also entangled in their business or their office or their job or their family or something. They are also entangled. They also don't have time. They also don't have time. Sometimes I think that people sometimes are badly entangled, that they don't have time for devotional service. So I keep telling them that after you retire, you can actually nicely take up. But now somehow you chant one round. Chant one round of Hare Krishna. Now you may not be able to chant 16 rounds. Chant one round. So they may or may not take up, whatever be the case. Then I'll be encouraging them, because material world is a discouraging place for devotional service. The atmosphere is very, very discouraging. So I generally don't discourage such people. So I'll also be waiting. Oh, this gentleman is going to retire. And then after retirement, even doing one round becomes difficult for him. At least when he was working or he was having some business, he was thinking, let me attempt. So somehow he may manage to chant one round, or he may do partially, not one round, some 5 minutes or 3 minutes, okay. But after retirement, he has all the time to do not just one round, he can even do 64 rounds. But he will not even do one round in some cases. So why? The same reason why the demigods don't take up devotional service. Mind, senses and intelligence are agitated by material conditions. So if they leave their home and go away to some holy place, sometimes people do that. The holy place is holy only if you go there and engage in holy activities. You go with a holy consciousness. Otherwise, it is like any other place. It is like any other place. Now, if you go to Vrindavan town, it's not a town anymore. It is more than a city. It has become a smart city already. Government is planning to make Mysore smart city and Mangalore smart city. It has already become a smart city, because all the facilities are available which government is planning to give in this smart city. All facilities are available. So people go there, settle down and nicely watch TV in a gated community, in a nice apartment where everything is available. Nice security, nice home delivery, online order, everything is there. 4G connection, everything is there. There's a devotee who stays in such a community in Vrindavan. Of course, he is staying due to some other reason, because his parents require some facilities. They have got so many disabilities. Okay. But he is trying to preach to his neighbors who are all staying in Vrindavan, who are all pious people, but none of them take up Krishna consciousness. None of them come to even the temple, which is just 5 minutes away from that apartment complex. Our temple is 5 minutes away. He comes every day for Mangalarti. He says, at least come for Darshanarti. At least come on a Sunday evening. No. He says, not even one resident of that entire complex comes to the temple. There's some excuse or the other. This is the nature of entanglement in this material world. So now you can understand how the demigods are also entangled. Demigods are much more knowledgeable about what is spiritual life and what is the benefit of spiritual practice. They know. All of them are aware of that. But they are badly entangled. Badly entangled. So, actually, we should pray to Krishna that before even we begin to seriously practice Krishna consciousness, we should pray to Krishna, please disentangle me from all these material entanglements. Disentangle me. Otherwise, continuously one engagement after another. So, it is, please remember this, material nature or material existence is very, very entangling. Unless you make a conscious effort to disentangle yourself, it will not happen simply by your desiring. It will not happen. You have to make conscious efforts after praying to Krishna and then taking steps, positive steps to disentangle yourself. You have to become less involved with family affairs. I'm talking of those who are retired. Those who have crossed, let's say, 60 years. I'm talking of such personalities. You have to forcibly cut yourself off from all these family affairs. It always looks justified for you to help some younger people in the family, to lend and extend an helping hand. In so many ways, different ways, you remain entangled. You remain entangled. Actually, all your time is only meant for spiritual activities. After you cross that age called retirement, only meant for spiritual activities. But except that, everything else you'll be doing, except spiritual activities. So many different entanglements, material activities. So that's why Bhagavatam very strongly says, Prahlad Maharaj says this, Hitvatma patam gruhamandhakupam. He compares family life to existence in a dark well, deep dark well. If somebody is trapped, you cannot get out. Generally, you cannot get out. But the spiritual master, the pure devotees, the followers of the pure devotees, they go searching for such dark wells. And then they carry a torchlight to shed some light in that dark place. And then they're carrying rope with them. And then they put the rope and say, hold on to the rope, I'll pull you out. I'll take you out. Still they will be telling, wait. I got some more things to do here before I come out. It is very, very difficult. Please take my words very seriously. This is what the Bhagavatam says. Very difficult to come out of family entanglement. Very difficult to come out. But it is also easy if you just follow the directions of the acharyas, of the Bhagavatam, of the scriptures, bona fide devotional scriptures. You just follow it's like we say, just chant Hare Krishna. Don't make any excuse. Simply vibrate your tongue, say Hare Krishna. Just say it and then see. Every day you tell Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Even while you are doing your ordinary work, you keep telling. Even while you are bathing, even while you are walking, even while you are cooking, even while you are doing ordinary activities, you keep saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This is just the beginning, I am telling. But this is a very auspicious beginning. You practice this. That even when now you are going out of this, keep saying Hare Krishna and go. Even when you are driving, keep saying Hare Krishna. Your tongue can be engaged even while driving, while riding a scooter or while going in a bus. Prabhupada says this. My disciples, even when they are going down the street to buy some groceries for the temple, they keep chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says this in one conversation. He was telling one gentleman, why don't you chant? So he was telling, no time. So Prabhupada is telling, even while you are walking, even while you are bathing, you can chant Hare Krishna. Let us say you are so busy that you are so badly entangled, you have no time to exclusively sit and chant Hare Krishna. At least please chant when you are bathing, when you are walking, when you are doing some activity which doesn't involve your tongue. That time keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, if you really make an attempt to get out of this entanglement in this material world, it's possible. It's possible. Beginning with this chanting Hare Krishna, and then everything will follow after this. So, Khatwanga Maharaj is teaching us that the most important thing is Krishna, Krishna's devotees, Krishna's service, Krishna's devotional service. Don't wait for some favorable situation, thinking that my situation is not favorable for doing devotional service now. That is a big, big mistake. In the material world, any material situation is not favorable. No material situation is favorable. Actually, no material situation is favorable. So, when you've got an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna simply by vibrating your tongue without any restriction of time, place, qualifications, no restrictions, especially for chanting Hare Krishna, no restrictions. So please chant whenever, wherever, always. Come to the stage of always chanting Hare Krishna, then your life will become perfect. Stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.